All right, welcome back, live streamers. We had a quick break there. Didn't get to say goodbye, but welcome back. Um, we're gonna be going back up. We were pretty much at the end of our production talk there. Guys, you ready to jump into the movie itself?
Hulk smash.
Eat green.
Hulk sadly walked down the freeway with his thumb out.
That was out of context. Eat green was uttered by Hulk several times in the cartoon.
Was he urging children to eat their vegetables?
Yeah,
no, he was usually throwing a
game.
helicopter at something.
Okay. I was gonna say, or was he saying it to Betty, which could be an entirely other.
Ooh.
All right. So here we go, guys. This is The Incredible Hulk. We open with a credit sequence. This again felt very 2000s and not at all MCU like.
Well, except for the anatomy, the inner body stuff that they showed.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
That's Marvel-y. The synapses and this, so it wasn't exactly the same, but reminiscent.
And this is the requel element of this movie is them retelling the Ang Lee film.
Yeah,
right in the titles.
Yes,
with different people playing the characters.
With different people, and it's slightly different, but not super different.
Yeah,
I found Hulk POV sort of jarring. There's a lot of that in the titles. People just terrified of him,
Yes.
You're looking through his eyes. Yeah.
I'm used to that, so it wasn't too unusual.
Is that how you look?
That's
how I experience the world.
Straight ahead. All right.
I feel like even in the first minute, this movie completely dismisses the Ang Lee version of the movie.
Yeah.
Like I don't see any ties at all.
I mean, he went to South America.
That was it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was all.
Yeah.
For Carnival.
But there were a lot of visual similarities again to the 70s series. The flashes of the skull X-ray in his face, his like eyes turning green while it's
just the eyes
all modeled.
Yeah, definitely. And like I said, like if you look at the opening credits sequence of the Incredible Hulk TV series, he's in a machine that looks almost exactly like the machine he's in during the credit sequence here.
Yeah.
So all right. We get the condensed origin story. Bruce becomes the Hulk, injures Thunderbolt and Betty Ross, and then he goes on the run. Angry William Hurt, like, oh, I'm so mad at you for being the Hulk.
But I don't seem that mad, do I?
Yeah. Time passes. We catch up with him in Brazil. He's learning Portuguese from Portuguese Sesame Street. I thought that was cute. I like that.
Yeah.
We get the Bill Bixby cameo there. Then he's learning techniques to control his anger. He works at a soda bottling plant.
Okay, I have to ask.
Our way.
Doing it. I didn't even think Laverne and Shirley. But so, are they making Slurm?
That's guarana flavored soda.
Yeah. I was thinking Jalisco. Like.
Oh yeah.
Looked like pineapple drink.
It was called Pingo Doce with guarana.
Ooh.
Yeah, and it's apparently very popular in Milwaukee. Jude asked, why isn't he working somewhere where there's not like a lot of people? Why is he working at a place that's full of like pretty ladies that want to bully him and people that want to bully him?
He could have been to like a horse farm or something where there's like 6 people that work there. Far away from the middle of town.
Where one of the most populated countries instead.
Yeah, where if he cuts himself and bleeds on something, it's dirt, and he's not going to have to.
That's another good.
Or if he loses his temper, he doesn't destroy the favela. Like
yeah,
I'm really trying to protect people from me.
So I'm going to go into one of the most populous cities on Earth.
Yeah.
Right.
This is where his Aikido instructor lived.
Yeah.
Well, that's it.
His Brazilian jiu-jitsu instructor, because that was coming into vogue at the time.
Capoeira.
Sure.
Ponytail.
The actor is a famous Brazilian jiu-jitsu instructor, but he was credited as an Aikido instructor.
Is he a Gracie?
In the credits of the movie.
Because he looked like a Gracie. Is he a Gracie? I don't know.
I don't know what Gracie is.
Oh, the Gracies are like the premier jiu-jitsu family. They trained all the famous people who have trained all the famous people.
I had no idea.
Me neither.
I'm looking it up. You guys continue as you were.
All right, so
I'm looking it up too. Hang on, I'm almost. Oh,
Brian, who's going to get it faster? Al, Brian in the lead, Al in the lead. I'm making this up. I can't tell. I can't see them. I can't see their hands. Oh my God, what are they touching?
Maybe they don't have hands.
It's possible.
There's one.
We live in a world without people. There's just screens. There's only screens in my world. I have to go lay down.
God damn it! I thought it was right here. Yes, it is. He is a Gracie.
Oh, look at there.
You what a cute little Gracie.
Rickson Gracie.
Oh, yeah. So he's one of the sons of Hoyce. That's interesting. I'm pretty sure.
Sons of Hoyce.
Let me know if I'm wrong.
I wouldn't know.
Right.
I researched this movie and I wouldn't know. So, all right. He cuts himself. His blood gets into a bottle of soda. There's also a sexy bottling lady and some bullies there who like to harass sexy bottling ladies.
Just really briefly, is that how the Hulk's blood works?
Oh, yeah. Good question.
Like, isn't it just blood, I guess?
Yeah, right. I mean, no. If you drink the blood of a Hulk, you become a Hulk yourself, like a vampire.
Everybody knows.
Or you're just, your lips swell, and turn green.
Yeah, like an anaphylactic type situation.
Yeah.
I was going to say like a Kardashian.
That's a rough condition, yeah. But who drinks the contaminated soda?
Stan the Man.
Yeah, Mr. Stan Lee, credited as Milwaukee Man.
So, and they're ambiguous about what happens to him.
I know, but it's fun to picture that he hulked out on his own.
Yeah, I was hoping he'd turn slightly green before they cut away from him, but he didn't. Yeah. So, all right. Bruce procures some flowers. Then he communicates with another scientist, codenamed Mr. Blue. It doesn't buy
his science setup. He made a centrifuge out of a record player and bicycle parts.
Yeah, that was cool. That was very Marvel of them.
Right. Yeah.
Coming right after Tony Stark, same kind of thing. Yeah. Making something out of nothing, scrap parts.
Well, it's interesting. The first two MCU movies were about the scientists in the group.
That's a good point.
Yeah. He tries to turn the flowers into a cure for his Hulkism. It doesn't work. Mr. Blue convinces him to send some of his blood to him for a test. Public service announcement, everybody. If someone asks you to mail your blood to them, don't do it.
Yeah, you don't want to do that. Yeah.
Yeah, I might be in some trouble, you guys.
A lot of DNA in there.
Quarantine.
They probably don't work for Ancestry.com.
They're splashing it all over crime scenes, throughout the Midwest.
Yeah, everywhere. It's this guy.
So when they're showing the blood underneath the microscope, he's testing the serum that he just made. They start to turn normal. Then the blood cells themselves all hulk out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
They were mad for being exposed to oxygen or something.
It's angry blood.
Well, I feel there was a scene in another movie where it showed this sort of thing through a microscope. Like they thought they had it, and then
Dark Man.
Was it Dark Man?
Oh,
Dark Man.
I think so.
How's the skin going?
Yeah.
How's the skin
like we have 1 hour of it not turning you into the Hulk.
But back to your don't send blood in the mail to anyone. We just saw how dangerous and how seriously Bruce takes it when his blood is spilled anywhere.
Yeah. So he's trusting international mail.
Yeah. If it fits his ships.
Well, and he also puts their top secret fucking encrypted code names on the box.
Yeah.
And he has this man's physical address.
Yeah.
I don't think it even
different
had a
Mr.
PO
Blue.
box on there. It wasn't even a PO
Scientists,
box.
they
He's
don't
like the
understand
college-
Minecraft. Yeah, like none of this makes sense. It should have been like from, Fred to Timmy,
Yeah.
not your
He's
top
like,
secret code
all
names.
I got is Sesame Street here, man. Cut me some slack. That's it.
Also,
all right.
he sent this much blood, and later on in the movie, I have so many questions about the blood.
There's a lot of blood suddenly.
There's-
Yeah,
Well, and
there's a lot of blood.
there is a lot of blood later. Yeah, we'll get there. So Thunderbolt Ross gets word of the Milwaukee Man getting gamma radiation poisoning from Brazilian soda. I hate it when that happens. So he sends a crack unit to find Banner, including Emil Blonsky, who's an ace soldier on loan from the Royal Marines.
Born in Russia, raised in England.
Rocking in America.
Yeah.
I was like, cool detail.
He's continental. Yeah.
Yeah, he's worldly. He looked the whole time like he was like just doing this while he was getting ready to shoot another movie. Like he didn't seem like he was really in costume, and they're like, "Yeah, put the fatigues on me, let's go."
He looked like he needed to shit the whole time. That was my thought on Tim Roth's character. It's just like,
he's shirtless a lot, and it's a confusing physique that he has. I don't know.
It is.
It's like kid in the gym locker,
Because
scrawny and weird.
Well, it's because he's not like just scrawny. He's like oddly shaped. Like he's got like a thick torso and scrawny arms.
he's built like a wrestler. He's built like these MMA fighter guys are.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So Banner gets word that Mr. Blue had a breakthrough with his blood and can cure him, but he needs more data about the original experiment that turned Bruce. Meanwhile, the team of soldiers arrive at Bruce's apartment, and Bruce manages to escape, running as they chase him through the streets of Rio.
Just once on the rudimentary internet computer that he had, Mr. Blue should have been like, send nudes.
And so I'll save it for unanswered questions. So he runs to the bottling plant where the aforementioned bullies have been hanging out there all night after their shift ended.
We're addicted to work, man.
Yeah, it made it feel like there was some corruption going on, and they didn't actually work there. Maybe like the gang ran it or something. But none of that was alluded to until this moment, where they're just there.
Yeah,
you're right.
Well,
yeah,
they were a couple of blocks away. Again, they wanted to live close to work
and party close to work.
They were just hanging out in the street. They weren't, but they were nearby the bottling plant.
They weren't in the bottling plant because the entire thing was just dark and wet asphalt.
No, when he runs into them, they're not in the bottling plant. He then runs to the bottling plant.
All right, that escaped me in all the shadows. And
I thought the same thing. I thought they were just inside in the dark, like sitting around,
hanging out in the bottling plant.
Yeah. No, he goes there. Yeah, it's like they'll never suspect me in that place we all work.
Yeah.
Never. The soldiers arrive. The bullies cause him to Hulk out, and he destroys the whole crack team except for Blonsky. And then bounds off into the jungle.
He makes a hungry joke again, doesn't he? He makes the "you wouldn't like me if I'm hungry" joke again when he runs into the goons.
Oh yeah, he still doesn't know angry.
No,
he still doesn't know.
No, he said the right word this time. He said angry this time. But he said it badly. He was like, I'm bad angry.
Yeah.
So he's grammatically incorrect, but he does use the word angry. And then the head tough is like, oh, you bad angry, G?
I'm bad angry. Yeah.
I'm bad angry.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay, so Blonsky and Ross collect Bruce's computer. Ross tells Blonsky about the whole Hulk thing. Then
the whole Hulk thing. He's back on his bullshit again.
Right. Bruce wakes up in the jungle in Guatemala. He decides to head back to the USA. He doesn't get a shirt until Mexico.
No, the pants, more importantly. I know he has those tattered ones, but yeah. Between Guatemala and Chiapas, there was not a pair of pants.
Nothing. No one loaned him like a shawl. Nothing.
The dude in the truck gave him a blanket.
But apparently took it back.
And a cup of coffee from a Greek diner. Yeah, he did take it back.
A cup of coffee from a Greek diner. Yeah.
I liked the scene of him waking up next to the waterfall. It was very on brand for the Hulk, just to be next to a tranquil waterfall in the jungle. That's where
I had to Google the distance between Brazil and Guatemala. It is over 3,000 miles.
How far is it? How far is it from Guatemala to Chiapas? Because
probably
that's each other.
They're right next to each other.
I mean, there's some distance enough to pick up some pants.
That's all. As a human being, but I mean, he traveled 3,000 miles overnight. Basically, is the Hulk.
Even more important, 3,000.
I mean,
which, not to squawk that he can travel really far and really fast, but it would have been interesting if they had done more than just say waking up in Guatemala. Most Americans, I had to Google it. I don't fucking know how far those things are from each other. They're not in America.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. All right. So, meanwhile, Blonsky tells Ross he wants to hunt Banner. Ross tells Blonsky that Banner didn't realize his research was supposed to be weaponized, and he offers to use some of the serum on Blonsky.
He offers.
Bruce arrives back in the U.S. Where is this university? Where is Culver University?
Okay, I have a question. It seemed like it was Colorado, but then they mentioned the Smoky Mountains.
Yeah, I don't know where it is.
Looks like Al knows.
Okay. Well, I've got sort of a timeline, sprinkles of clues. Culver University is fictional. There's actually a Culver and University is an intersection in Irvine, California. This was filmed at Toronto, the University of Toronto. But yeah, the Smoky Mountains, that put them somewhere in the vicinity of Tennessee, Georgia, or the Carolinas.
Right.
Later, we see that in the very last scene, he gets mail from the pawn shop in North Carolina. But then he mails, spoiler alert, he mails the necklace back to Betty with a Virginia address.
Okay.
So I think Culver University is supposed to be in Virginia.
And so they drove.
It's a Virginia location in the MCU. There's a couple of other movies that reference it too.
So then the scenes on the road were Betty and Bruce going to New York, right? They're driving to New York.
Yep.
That's how they end up there. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. And okay.
So Bruce had to sneak across into the U.S. Undocumented worker style.
Yeah.
I thought that would have been that's a scene that they should have included. It would have been really neat, him entering the United States and road tripping across.
I was expecting it, honestly.
Well, because it would be a funny sort of visual irony, because no wall can stop the Hulk. In fact, the Hulk hates walls like the Kool-Aid Man hates walls. And so, showing him trying to get over a wall as Bruce Banner could have been funny.
I think this shows that Marvel was not getting political with anything at this point, really at all.
Sure. Sure.
Whereas now, I think if they were to make a movie about this now, they absolutely would have had him in a car or in a truck or with a group of immigrants coming across the border to make a political point.
Yeah. There's always been a barrier at the U.S. border. But anyway.
All right. So he scopes out his old university lab, sees Betty with her new boyfriend, and heads to his old pizza maker. Al, what's up with this pizza maker?
I bet he worked for him. Well, no, he might have worked for him in college, but he definitely ordered from him in the lab.
We see later Betty goes in and expects service after they're closed, which seems like that's a thing that being a professor in this small town, that's a thing that he allows.
He seems to have a special relationship with him, though. He's not just a regular customer.
Was it the Ang Lee one that had Martin Starr in the lab?
No, this had Martin Starr. This
was this one. Okay, yeah, that's who he brings. Okay.
The Stanley, the pizza parlor owner, he's played by Paul Soles, who was the voice of Banner in the 1966 Marvel Superheroes animated series.
Oh,
And he was also the voice of Spider-Man in the 67 run.
Oh, wow.
See, that's
cool.
crazy. This movie deserves a lot of credit for shit like that. That you just didn't know about. That's wild.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so he take the pizza. I was confused every time he didn't have an Italian accent.
Yeah.
Every time, because he looks like he just should have been, hey, it's my old pal Bruce.
Well, yeah.
Well, they're not New York, so
That's true. They're in North Carolina. He's the most authentic Italian guy in North Carolina or Virginia.
Yeah. He takes him in, gives him a job, I guess, or just lets him go undercover with his stuff. I don't know.
Yeah,
I love that
he
that's
borrows,
the favor he asks.
He borrows the pizza gear to sneak into the lab.
Yeah.
And some pizzas.
He sneaks in using the power of pizza, bribes his way onto a computer past Lou Ferrigno and Martin Starr.
The moment with Lou Ferrigno was cute when he says, "You are the man," because that was like Norton talking to Ferrigno.
Yeah.
It wasn't Banner talking to the guard. That was
That was
that's a good point.
Torch.
Well, and Lou calls him brother. Like, thank you, brother. And then enjoys the pizza. Like you said, the power of pizza is it's legit. That's a legit phenomenon.
Pizza,
I'll let people in my house if they bring me pizza. I don't give a shit.
Yeah,
pizza will
get
get
a lot
you
done with pizza.
anywhere for sure.
Concerning Martin Starr, this character, they just called him computer nerd in this movie, but the character was retroactively revealed to be Roger Harrington, which is his role in the Spider-Man movies.
What is that? They officially did that? Because I heard there was some confusion.
They officially did that. Yeah.
That is him officially. Okay.
Kevin Feige confirmed it.
Okay. Awesome.
That's cool.
So he retires from research, or I guess he graduates from grad school and becomes a science teacher.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
that's cool.
Yeah.
There's only like 400 people in the Marvel universe, I guess.
Yeah.
All right. He discovers all his research has been erased from the university computers. He decides that he's going to just move on when Betty and her boyfriend decide to go to the pizza parlor. Betty spots Bruce, who hides.
Oh, okay. All right. She sees him, and it's almost trance-like. She stands up, and now it's all about Bruce. Like she ghosts Samson as bad as Bruce ghosted her years ago. Like she just gets up and walks away, and that's the end of their relationship on screen. We don't see them together again. I would
like to point out that Betty Ross is this Betty Ross in this movie is one of the worst female characters I have ever seen on screen.
Yeah, pretty terrible.
She exists solely to provide emotional support to Bruce Banner / the Hulk. Period.
Yeah. She is his emotional support woman.
Yeah.
Yeah, I felt like Dreamweaver should have been playing in her mind when she saw him through the window. Like, she's just like in her own universe at that moment.
And it's true. She walks into that universe and never goes back.
Yeah.
As we'll find out later, it was her contribution to the initial experiment that
It's just me and you for now. Can't believe the live stream stayed up. Hey, did everybody get kicked out?
Yeah. No, I didn't.
I mean, did everybody's connection die?
No.
Mine did.
Mine did. It was her contribution to...
Yeah, I wanted to hear this right.
It was her contribution to the initial experiment. Some serum that she created that kept Bruce from dying of gamma radiation. That's what kept him alive.
Right.
So she did have a small part in the science, not just being a female.
No,
Well,
I got that impression all along.
Sure, but as a
Both
character,
movies.
But yeah,
I mean,
she didn't do
as
anything.
a plot device, sure, but as a character that exists in the world, she did nothing else. Like
Yeah, she was kind of a shitty person.
she had no internal life other than
She was a data repository in addition to being his comfort.
yeah.
Yeah. Like, I have the data here.
It's in me.
Which I was going to save this for the end, but tell me one thing about Betty Ross that does not have to do with Bruce Banner in this movie. I'm not talking about outside of it. In this movie, tell me one thing about her that
she's flighty.
Is she?
No, but did she have any scenes that weren't focused around the Hulk? No, I don't think so.
Only when she was walking and met Phil Dunphy before he saw them.
They were.
She doesn't speak to her father. That's something.
But why doesn't she speak to her father?
That's true.
Because of Banner.
And even when they confront each other, her dad is in that tank to fight Banner. You know what I mean? She's trying to stop him. So, yeah. And she's certainly never talking to another female character. That's for sure.
Well, there's only one.
Right.
There isn't another female character. Yeah.
Right.
Well, other than the sexy bottling lady from the beginning.
Well, make that 3. Well, because then there's also the major is a woman.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
No, the major was a lady suffragette.
All right. So
real quick, does everyone want to check their video quality?
Oh.
Since we rebooted?
Yeah.
I haven't changed. Oh, for shit.
Thanks, live stream watchers, for hanging in with us right now.
The standard is fine.
All right. So, anyways, moving on.
Yeah.
All right. So, yeah, Betty spots Bruce, who hides, but then later that night, she comes upon him walking down the road in the rain.
Mm-hmm.
Lucky that.
I feel like because she pressed Stanley for the truth, and Stanley must have told her, because I don't think she just happened to come across him. She was like searching for him.
Oh, but I thought he went on the run unexpectedly because she saw him.
Well, he was planning on moving on before he saw her.
Oh, okay.
Like he was packing up his stuff, and then she saw him.
Okay. All right.
I don't know. It was still like, I don't know. They cut out a lot of stuff, clearly, as we saw from the trailer. So maybe there was something of him telling Stanley where he was going to go to. So she was able to figure out what road he would be on. As it is, what's in the film, we have no way of knowing how she would know where the hell he was.
True.
So, all right. He goes home with her. She reveals that she kept a copy of Bruce's research on a flash drive. He tells Betty that her dad wants to turn the Hulk into a weapon. Meanwhile, Thunderbolt gives Blonsky a low dose of the Hulk juice. Bruce and Betty do some light flirting, and the next day, they're saying goodbye at the university for some reason, when the general and his strike team attack Bruce. Bruce swallows the thumb drive, which was the most horrific part of this entire movie.
Yeah. And of course, I thought the intent was to shit it out, but I was wrong.
No, yeah, I thought it was gonna. Yeah, I thought it was gonna be a number 2, not a number 3.
Yeah, I don't think he'd be able to puke it back up like a day later.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, no, he might as well just sit on the can.
He's like, my stomach is a storage pouch, much like a marsupial. It'll just stink.
Right. Well, and he hulked out and then unhulked. Like that thing could be That could be in his appendix. Like,
Right by now. Why didn't you shoot it out like a rocket?
all right. So, yeah, they attack Bruce. He hulks out. He destroys the army team and their tanks and helicopters. You see, Blonsky is now like real fast.
Yeah, but they're all acting like Benson from Silsbee, Texas. Just your bullets don't work, but shit, just keep emptying those rounds, man.
Just do it, yeah.
Just shoot them.
This is the first time that Betty sees him as the Hulk,
Which is odd.
Yes.
And this was another thing where it's a complete departure from the first movie.
Yeah,
it's like that was not a prequel to this, but yeah, when he first turned into the Hulk, the lab exploded and she didn't actually see him.
That's
and
right.
Then he leaves when she's still in a coma, when she's still in the hospital and asleep, and then he's gone for 5 years.
Right, when there had to be incidences because there's a little clock counting down. So it's odd that she never caught a glimpse of him in any way. I mean, I guess you're right about the destruction of the lab, but if she was his partner and not just his girlfriend, you think she would have seen the outcome of the experiment?
Yeah, I mean, she was still unconscious in the hospital when Thunderbolt was being mad at him and telling him to leave.
I see. All right, so you're correct. This is the first time she sees him.
But
the Beast.
yeah. But yeah, so anyways, Blonsky fights the Hulk one-on-one. Hulk kicks his ass. Betty gets injured. Hulk grabs Betty and runs away. Well, she doesn't get injured. She just gets knocked unconscious, which is an injury, but not in the MCU.
They use a flamethrower or some shit, and he protects her.
It was a helicopter that exploded around them.
Oh, okay, fair enough. There was a fireball.
He protects her, but yeah, she's just unconscious and totally cool when she wakes up later in the forest. No issues.
No,
and
she freaks out initially.
No. I'm saying no injury issues.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, health-wise, like her hair would have been burned off.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. He's literally carrying her over this barbecue flame, and her hair is dangling really dramatically. And I was like, "Oh, she'd be bald." And also horribly burned and disfigured after this.
Just very badly. But yeah.
Though to be fair, if we start nitpicking physics issues in the MCU, we're in for a bad time.
Yeah, that's true. But what was interesting was this was a total homage to King Kong, this scene.
Oh, yeah.
Like she gets less trepidatious and starts to see his good side. He's upset. Doesn't know why. Wants to hurt her, and he's afraid of lightning as well.
Yeah, he's throwing rocks at the lightning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway,
been there.
Which?
Yeah. Right.
been there.
Woo. So all right. So then we learn. Let's see. The army found Banner through Betty's boyfriend. Thunderbolt's willing to sacrifice Betty to get to the Hulk. Blonsky's in the hospital, expected to die. Meanwhile, hiding in the woods, Betty calms Bruce down, who de-hulks. Yeah, just like this whole scene, like I'm your mother and your lover, Hulk. Like I'm calming you down.
I'll teach you and help you. Sun's getting real low.
Emotional, what is it? Like the emotional heavy lifting. That's all she's there to do.
That's what she'll do. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right, so they get a motel room the next day. She pays. Bruce pukes up his thumb drive. They spend the night in the motel, kiss for a little while, but Bruce tells Betty they can't do the nasty Hulk dance because he'll get big and green.
The nasty Hulk dance.
And then she would explode, correct?
Yeah, I would assume so, yes.
We've never seen the Hulk's.
They had the bit with the bright purple stretchy pants.
Yeah, that was cute.
That was like stretchy.
They were the stretchiest they had. It's like, I'll take my chances.
I noticed that no matter what pants he was wearing, they always got wet and dark and purplish.
Yes.
No matter what pants he was wearing to begin with. Not full purple, but a little purpley.
Yeah, I agree.
So, all right. So, back at the base, Blonsky just heals up, and he's all good, ready to
He's
go.
doing good. Yeah.
Yeah. Bruce and Betty go on the run off the grid. She has to sell her mother's locket for travel money. Bruce sends his data to Mr. Blue, but the military intercepts his message. That was the scene where it was in the cyber world and the military was intercepting the message.
Yeah.
Jude just started laughing and laughing because
Right.
it was such a 2008 look at like the
The
internet.
Yeah.
It was practically hackers with like the numbers just floating around people's heads.
Right.
So, all right. So they know where he's going in general. They know he's heading to New York. Betty suggests to Bruce that he try to control the Hulk rather than just get rid of it. They discover the military has a checkpoint going into New York. So they take a boat. They a secret boat from New Jersey, I assume, into Manhattan.
Just find a guy in Staten and he'll just put you in his boat.
Well, what's the plan with the roadblock? Like the Hulk won't go any further without showing identification.
Well, yeah.
Skip the roadblock, maybe.
We're like, do you have any oranges? Any fruit you want to declare?
Declare. I declare fruit.
It's not how it works.
Not how it works, Michael.
You can't. Yeah. Oh God. Okay. So they arrive in New York. They have a very bad cab ride. This scene felt so out of place.
Yeah.
It was like from a different movie.
Yeah, it was supposed to be very lighthearted and comedic.
And like it was a MCU-ish kind of scene, but it just did not land for me personally.
No.
Yeah.
I was okay with it.
All right.
I do like her screaming at the end. That was the only part that made me chuckle a little bit.
It was the only time she spoke above a whisper in the entire film.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. It gave her character for one brief moment.
Yeah.
And then her telling him to zip it.
Yeah, that was good. I like that delivery. Yeah. So all right, they find Dr. Samuel Stearns, aka Mr. Blue. We got Mr. Blue, Mr. Green, Mr. Orange.
Yeah, Tim Roth's in there. He's Mr. Orange, right?
Yeah. They use his lab to try to cure Bruce. It seems successful, although Stearns can't tell if it's going to be a permanent cure or just temporary. The military moves in to catch Bruce and Betty. Meanwhile, Stearns reveals he's been replicating Bruce's blood and performing experiments. So we can just replicate blood now.
Yep. Yeah. Yep. He had so much of it.
He had a lot. He made a lot of blood. This should really. So this is a universe that now has Blade in it. So that means there are vampires in the MCU, which means that this guy has a cure for vampires having to hunt humans because he can just make blood.
Maybe, but then it's at the same time, Bruce's blood is poisonous, apparently.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, what happens if a vampire eats his blood? Do they get hulked out?
Interesting. Yeah, I don't know.
That's a Marvel one shot.
A biochemist or whatever kind of scientist he was.
Yeah. What kind of scientist are you?
A gamma scientist, I guess?
Yeah, just gamma. Just general gamma.
Yeah,
in my science pit.
I have a doctorate in gamma.
It's just gamma.
So, all right. Bruce wants to destroy all of his research, but just then he gets tranked by the military. They capture him. Blonsky is like freaking out. He's getting real roid ragey. They load
trying
Bruce.
To get him to transform.
Yeah, he wants him to Hulk.
He's still itching for a fight.
Yeah. Which, I mean, would not have worked well for him.
Not at this point.
No, not at this point. It was a bad idea on his part.
So was it that it was only a temporary, or did he have to re-power?
No,
Did he lose his powers at any point? Really?
No. It seems that was just temporary. He didn't actually lose his powers.
All right.
The Stern
He says
said,
it multiple times. Like it might, or it might not. Might just
We
be
don't
this
know.
time.
Yeah, we don't know. And it was just that time, it turns out. So yeah, they go. Bruce and Betty get in a helicopter. They're taking Bruce back to the lab. Luckily, the train quartered off pretty fast. Back at the university, Blonsky knocks out the major lady, and then doesn't have to spend too much time convincing Stearns to give him a dose of the Hulk juice.
No.
So before we leave Stern's lab, I have one question about it. Why does every science lab have a leather human experimentation bed with straps on it?
Straps! This is a university.
Everyone. Like, sir, you're a pediatrician.
Yes.
Like there are all kinds of weird gray areas in this movie, but that one is a moral, dark area.
Well, even if it's a decrepit warehouse factory, like in Batman or recently Doctor Doom, it's like it's this. But they all have that.
This is a university science.
And he has his covered in plastic. Like he's like, oh, I
could get messy.
Save it. We need to be able to use it at any point in time. I don't want to have to dust it off.
Like every time I give Hulk blood to somebody, they just shit and shit. It's horrific.
But I can see him he has to get funding for this.
Yeah,
this is a university.
He takes donors on tours through that place.
He's also got the chomp guard and the lobe shockers.
Right.
Oh, right. Yeah.
It's like, sir, you have a doctorate in linguistics. What are you doing?
What are you doing? And that was a very antiquated electroshock.
Yeah.
Very odd.
Oh God. Yeah, that was like One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest era.
Yeah.
But then
it felt like Guantanamo.
Time, right. And at the same time, that sciencey bullshit where there's all this equipment, but he's got to roll from one keyboard to go tap, 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 and he's got to roll over to another keyboard.
He has to kick a box.
Yeah.
Multiple times.
Right. Yeah, what is all this shit?
But you have a glass room full of bags of labeled blood.
Yeah, exactly.
That you synthesized.
Yes.
And this is the most expensive machine in the entire hospital.
The blood duplicator.
And this is the machine that goes bing.
So Stearns gets some of. All right, so Stearns does the whole Hulk thing to Blonsky, who turns into Abomination. Abomination messes Stearns up a little on his way out the door, and Stearns gets some of Banner's blood mixed in with his own head wound, and his head begins to pulse and enlarge. Which must have been very confusing for your average viewer who has no fucking idea who Leader is.
Right.
Yeah. That's not how you leave a clue for a future movie, too.
So this is a thread that was never tied off in the MCU. Leader, is out there somewhere, apparently. So, all right. Abomination runs amok through New York.
Okay, Harlem. It could have been any nondescript place in New York City. It could just be a city. Yeah. Yeah.
But he's got to go
Harlem.
uptown and mess up their neighborhood.
Yeah. They turn Harlem into a war zone. That's worse than gentrification.
Motherfuckers.
He almost hits Omar Little with a thrown car.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. Holy shit.
Michael, yeah.
Yeah, he's just visiting town from Baltimore.
Yeah, exactly. Omar's not coming. Omar's on vacation.
So, all right. Ross gets word about what's going on. Chopper heads back to the city. Bruce convinces the general to let him fight Abomination. He and Betty have a tearful goodbye, and he does the jump out of the helicopter and lands in the pavement. The Hulk fist comes out. Does the big fight with Abomination through the streets of New York.
I thought the CGI was pretty bad. I did not like the Hulk.
It didn't
first of
hold
all, there was no face modeling. There was nothing to indicate, as opposed to Ruffalo later on. Maybe it was
Oh, yeah.
technology, but
Oh,
that was
yeah.
a totally different Hulk. They probably didn't even know who was cast yet. But ironically,
Are you sure that wasn't just
maybe.
Ed Norton's face the whole time?
He's like, I've rewritten the script. I am the Hulk.
He's like, I am expressionless throughout.
But ironically, I thought Abomination looked cooler than Hulk. They both looked pretty lousy, but yeah.
Yeah.
The CGI did not hold up. It was a huge step backwards from what was going on in Iron Man.
Iron Man.
Huge
Yeah.
step backwards.
There are 2 or 3 shots of the Hulk that look good. When they're in the cave with Betty, when they're on the rooftop and the lights shine on him, and then there was like one other shot where I was like, oh, okay, I buy it.
Where
But
he's
everything else in
swinging-
motion, yeah,
Yeah.
the motion looked awful.
It did. It looked very CG. It was. That said, the design was way better than Ang Lee's 2003 Hulk, but
Yes.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
the green was a way better green than Ang Lee's weird green that he had.
Yeah. Well, and the
Good point,
musculature, the texture.
Yeah.
He
And
looked
I mean-
ripped. He didn't look puffy. He didn't look like a
Yeah.
rubber
Yeah.
doll.
Right.
But, I mean,
like
again, they had-
Michelin, man.
They had 5 years to get texture
Right.
better. So all right. So they fight. Abomination is winning. Then the Abomination brings the helicopter down because Ross is trying to shoot him. Then I was honestly confused until Al reminded me that Hulk gets stronger as he gets angrier,
Yeah.
because it seemed like Hulk was just getting his ass kicked until he suddenly wasn't.
Yeah.
Well, he sees Betty's at risk, and it upsets him.
And that upsets
Yeah.
him, and he gets stronger when he gets angrier.
That's the
I
King
had to-
Kong element there, yeah.
Yeah.
So
But it was-
then,
It's cool that he was using the front ends of 2 cars, and they looked like the Hulk,
Hulk
gloves you
gloves,
could buy.
yeah.
Back in the day.
yes,
That was kind of fun.
yeah, that was great. He chokes out Abomination. He doesn't
Yeah,
kill
it
him.
was-
yeah.
He just chokes him out with a chain.
Because
Uh,
she just tells him to stop. He's about to pop his head off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, she's
and-
like, no, he has to stand trial.
we see a couple of like classic Hulk moves. We hear him say Hulk smash,
Yeah.
and he hits the ground, and it causes the earthquake, earth cracking
the
open
crack
in the building.
thing, yeah.
Yeah.
And then the helicopter's about to burst into flames, and he claps his hands together,
Hulk
to
And-
make
slap,
it, yeah,
baby Hulk slap.
yeah, he's
Yeah.
done that,
Mhm.
yeah.
and it like
Oof.
creates a vacuum basically, which doesn't
Extinguishes
burst their
the flames.
eardrums or kill anyone in the helicopter. Which
Yeah.
there are Jello people inside that steel cage. They would all be dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Uh,
I thought those were cool moments too.
They were
At
absolutely.
one point when he's choking Abomination out, he like pulls the elbow spike. He rips the elbow spike out of his arm and stabs him with it.
Yeah.
That was rough.
I don't understand how Blonsky's bone elbows were able to puncture the Hulk's skin. That's something that bugged me a little bit, because like even Wolverine.
Gamma.
Yeah, some gamma
Gamma.
loophole. But like Wolverine, anytime that Wolverine would fight him, he would like puncture him and he would heal immediately. But he's
Yeah.
like bleeding out this whole time. So yeah, something gamma. I'll buy it. I'll believe
Yeah.
it.
So all right. I'd like to point out there's a crowd of civilians watching this, like with like phone cameras and everything. I feel like this is I feel like that was the late addition after seeing Iron Man and like Iron Man being public. I feel like the
Right.
whole like public superheroes thing, they
Yeah.
decided to play into that. I don't know.
Became deliberate, yeah.
I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what it felt like to me.
We won't revisit this in a movie, but we see it in the Netflix Marvel universe, because it's all based out of Hell's Kitchen,
Right,
that same
yeah.
area of New York. They talk about this at great length. That's the most we revisit this scene in the Marvel universe, basically, which is
Yeah.
really, really interesting to me, seeing that, having them like, oh, remember that time that Harlem got torn up by that big green guy and that other guy who had bones sticking out of him, like kind of vaguely talking about the Hulk.
Yeah. That's why I think it's weird that Betty never saw him as the Hulk. I understand not in person, one-on-one. So that would have a different emotional effect, of course. But
Yeah.
she had to have seen him.
No,
All right.
in all the paper clippings, they never had a photo of him. They didn't even have a shot of him on the campus when the kid had the cell phone.
That's true.
There's that one of him
just
walking through the forest.
All right. So Hulk bounds off into the night.
Because the other helicopter comes and shines a light on him. He's like, Hulk no like to be in spotlight. Hulk prefer anonymity.
Hulk backstage.
Hulk puppet master. He does say one word, Betty, and then bounds off into the night. It's always the girl. It's always the girl.
Who then fades into obscurity. She disappears forever.
Yep.
Well, she sadly visits the Statue of Liberty at some point later. We see her.
That's right.
She does not know to recharge her digital camera.
Right.
Yeah, or
It's
by
weird that
batteries.
or
by
batteries.
batteries.
Yeah. If only I knew how to. Yeah.
Yeah, it dies. I'm pretty sure that picture still exists on the hard drive of the camera.
Right.
It's not gone forever.
I think they were implying that it gets deleted forever, though.
They were.
Right.
They were trying to imply that. Yes.
Yeah.
Um,
Brian's right. They never revisit this. The Hulk returns, but no mention of Betty ever returns.
Everett Ross returns.
Oh yeah. Ross, portrayed by the same actor,
don't
appears.
they?
Yeah.
Don't they name check her in Avengers?
In Ultron, they're talking about their girlfriends. They're trying to one up each other, but
Yeah.
he's not really participating because then after that scene, he and Nat have sort of a little scene at the bar.
Yeah. All right. So in the woods, Bruce gets Betty's locket back. He meditates and then apparently transforms into the Hulk on purpose. It seems like he's like smiles. He's like happy about it.
He's meditating to gain control so he can learn how to Hulk out at will.
Yeah.
Did anybody catch the address on the package from the pawn shop?
No.
So the pawn shop was in North Carolina, but it said Milburn Pawn Shop, Highway 61.
Ah, nice.
What is that a reference to? I'm sorry.
Highway 61. It's just a Bob Dylan reference.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I thought the name was. Sorry. Yeah.
Um,
Highway 61.
Hulk getting control. Betty was the one who told him because he's like, I just want it out of me. She says like, well, why don't you just learn how to control it? And then we see that later on with Mark Ruffalo being like, I'm always angry. I can become the Hulk whenever I want.
That which is the culmination of that spark that she sparked there.
Well, and it's why.
Well,
it's
actually,
why,
I guess Professor Hulk would be the ultimate culmination. But anyways, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Josh.
Which we got, right? I mean, because that's what I mean. They stuck to the evolution of the Hulk, including this one. This one, he's barbaric and can't communicate and understand. And then he gets a little brighter. Then there's Ragnarok Hulk, who can think and articulate, but he's still Hulk. And then finally, Professor Hulk, Ruffalo, who permanently changed. Yeah. So good for them. Once again,
revisiting his development in Endgame, where Hulk hates the stairs. It's such a small step forward for him in development, but it's cool to re-see that.
Yeah, for sure. So all right, then we get what's supposed to be an after credits sequence, but is before the credits. In a bar somewhere, Thunderbolt's getting very drunk. Tony Stark
drinking
shows up.
chartreuse.
Yes,
which is a liqueur. Yeah,
guarana soda.
Slurm from the
Tony Stark shows up, references the super soldier program, tells Ross that they're putting a team together. Oh, I'd like to point out too that in the beginning credits we did get a reference to Stark Industries and Nick Fury.
Yeah.
Oh yes, that's right.
Well, and the device that the Blonsky stuff, the serum is held in, has Stark Industries on it too.
Yeah.
The Blonsky method.
And that's it. Roll credits on The Incredible Hulk.
Well,
sad music, hitchhiking on the freeway.
He's definitely become more credible as the movies went on.
Yeah. Okay. I have a few unanswered questions.
Shoot.
What happened to Bruce's dog? Tim Roth tranked him, and then he's just an ownerless dog in Brazil.
He's just a favela dog again.
Yep.
Yeah. He was probably stray to begin with.
Probably left the doors open.
Made me legitimately sad.
Back to the streets from whence he came.
Yeah. I had is Liv Tyler capable of speaking above a whisper?
No.
Only when she is very upset.
Why? Yeah. Oh, yeah. At cab drivers.
Right.
Why does Thunderbolt Ross hate universities? That he destroys them so prolifically.
Well,
In the original comic, he hates intellectuals.
Science. Yeah, experimentation, but so does the whole boomer generation.
Yeah.
You know, like the intellectuals, Harvard intellectuals, and the Berkeley intellectuals. Yeah, that's somehow a bad thing.
And my final question: how many laws did General Ross break in his extra constitutional pursuit of Bruce Banner on American soil?
That's why I'd asked. Yeah, it seems like it's just his little rogue mission.
Like the military is not allowed to operate like that.
No.
Especially domestically. Yeah,
and domestically, exactly.
It would have been really neat to have S.H.I.E.L.D. be doing this and him kind of trying to drag S.H.I.E.L.D. along doing it.
That would have been cool.
Yeah. Real quick, I forgot to mention this during the casting, but Tim Roth is set to reprise this role in the upcoming She-Hulk series.
Wow.
Oh, really?
That's cool. That's cool.
Nice.
I'm honestly wondering if we're going to get Leader at some point, too. I mean, I feel like they're bringing back every little thing that ever occurred in any Marvel movie.
They might as well.
Leader in the She-Hulk would be cool.
Yeah.
So I have a few unanswered questions regarding the larger plot of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. The Leader has effectively developed a vaccine for hulking out from moment to moment.
Right.
Yeah.
So it may not work forever. But how does Tony Stark not know about this? How does S.H.I.E.L.D. not know about this if they were there after the fact?
Right.
Yeah.
Because they made Veronica.
We have the Hulkbuster.
Right. Hulkbuster.
Why not put one of these injection things in the Hulkbuster and just stick that in his neck? And it's like, cool, sweet. Now we're just going to take you somewhere and, put on some like Zen music.
Like your Mr. T in the AT.
Yes, exactly.
Tell him he wasn't on a plane.
Well, they'd have to put him in a dialysis machine,
right,
to make it work.
That's true. Well, I mean, Tony Stark can
that,
weaponize anything, I guess. You just get a couple of these machines that attach to him and pump those into his Hulk butt or whatever. That's the biggest like hanging thread for me on this movie is like, damn, we have the ability to make him unhulk. Why do we need Black Widow to be like, hey, big guy, let me just touch your leg, touch the inside of your thigh? And
I mean, did Abomination destroy
like he's on an acid trip? She's just guiding him.
Yeah. Did Abomination destroy all that lab stuff though on his way out?
Potentially.
Yeah. Potentially. Yeah.
I mean,
the doctor seemed like a pretty. He seemed like he was taking notes. He seemed like he had been working on this as his like.
Right.
He wanted to win a Nobel Prize.
Yeah.
So
did he, when he transforms into the Leader, does he scurry away with all his research?
I wish they'd shown some scurrying.
Yeah.
I'm down for
I love scurrying.
That would have been a really cool post-credit scene, is actually having a post-credit scene of him like, walking down the freeway, thumb out, happy music or something.
Yeah.
Or on a beach in the Caribbean.
Yeah.
With a big weird hat, like a shawl wrapped around his head.
A chef's hat. Oh yeah. A turban.
All right.
So, all right, that brings us to the rankings, guys. We need to put this on the list somewhere.
The list is on my phone. I'm not gonna mess with my phone. But where is the other Hulk? Where do we have that one?
So, all right, here, let me go ahead and share the tab with both you and our viewers.
We're gonna lose the live feed any second.
Yes.
Should we cut it and come back to the ranking?
Let's do it. Yeah. All right, guys, we're going to be right back. We're cutting off the live feed, going to part 3.
Just a moment. Voice of God, yeah.
Okay, so here we go. All right, so you guys ready to rank this thing?
Yep.
All right,
Put
let me
some
go ahead.
stank on it.
So, all right, let me get the list up here for everybody. All right. So,
I can't read that.
2003's Hulk is at 49. It's way
How
down
many
there.
movies total have we done? We're on like what, 74?
75. This is the 75th.
75?
Oh, huh. Well, it's
75.
better than Ang Lee's Hulk, but not by a whole lot.
Is it better than Howard the Duck?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is better.
I thought this was leaps and bounds above the last Hulk.
I agree.
Oh yeah,
I agree. No
And
gamma radiated poodles.
It was very on brand. Being chased by the military, it basically started from from Go.
All right.
Having the big bad fight with the Abomination. I mean, that's what we wanted as fans, was Hulk fighting
a more evenly matched.
Yeah. A more evenly matched thing. And it's at the end. It's in a populated area. It's not him jumping around sand dunes and fighting weather.
Yeah.
And they retain elements for future MCU. So, yeah, it is better than Howard. It's better than the first one.
I mean, I think it's better than the Fantastic Four movies. If we're,
I was just going to ask.
Absolutely. I absolutely agree. Is it better than, let's see, is it better than Superman 3?
Yeah.
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 I
think this should go pretty high up compared to some of these other things.
Wait,
too.
Superman 3?
Yeah.
That was Richard Pryor?
Yeah.
That was a hot mess, but...
Well, I mean, it was a fun hot mess, absolutely.
Yeah.
But,
yeah.
Okay, so above Superman 3, we've got Turtles and Darkman.
Well, it's better than... no, I don't know.
Constantine. Wow, we have Constantine way up there. Every once in a while, I get really surprised by a movie where we put it. I'm like, really? We did that?
Constantine's really good if you watch March of the Penguins in the middle of it. Yeah. I'm sorry.
No, I'm just a little befuddled by why Constantine's at 23. That seems really high. Wow.
It wasn't awful. It had a lot of cool elements.
It wasn't a bad movie. I'm surprised. Above that, we've got Sky High, Mystery Men, Blade 2.
Al, what are your thoughts? Where do you think it should go?
We're in the right area. I don't think it's gonna go above Superman Returns.
No,
which is just above Blade 2.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Is it better than The Mask?
I don't know if this was better than Blade 2.
Yeah, I kind of agree.
So we've got these three here, which is like a kids movie and two comedies. Somewhere between Blade 2 and Constantine, I feel like, and The Mask. Okay. Yeah, so like.
Better than Sky High. I don't know if it's better than Mr. Men because that has a place in my heart. But
yeah,
it's better than Sky High, which wasn't bad.
We want to put it in,
or maybe right there.
Yeah, at number 21.
I'm up with that.
Okay.
All right, here we go. The Incredible Hulk went in at number 21. I'm curious to see if this is going to be our lowest rated MCU movie.
It might.
We've got a couple stinkers coming up. I mean, not stinkers by MCU standards, not like
4-2.
Yeah. Yeah, we've got Iron Man. We've got both of the first two Thors. I mean, none of those are like Civil War, Guardians of the Galaxy level stuff.
Right. Yeah. And Captain America never did anything for me. Like I never cared about that character. So it'll be interesting to watch him again, see if that's changed.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I like Chris Evans' Cap, but yeah.
Oh, I like it. Oh, yeah. Definitely, I like that. I meant the character itself. It was the same when I heard Iron Man would be the first one. Like, really? Iron Man? But, yeah.
So, all right. So, a couple quick things before we get on to next week's movie. Our monthly movie, which we were going to reveal at the end for February, is going to be Gremlins 2. It won by a mile. Like, It was not even close.
It is certifiably batshit nuts.
Like, it got nearly 50% of the vote.
Wow.
It's crazy.
Wow.
It was not close.
Crazy.
After watching Gremlins for the Christmas for December, and this happening to be the year, I just knew we had to do it. I got confused because I also watched Die Hard after watching Gremlins. I think it was Christmas Eve when I watched Die Hard, but 1990 was our year. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
It was also when Die Hard 2 came out. So if Die Hard had won, I would have nominated Die Hard 2.
Yeah.
Or Die Harder.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Gremlins 2 is just insane. It's like
Gremlins 2.
They ended up not having a franchise, and I feel like they told Joe Dante to ruin it.
Yeah.
Like go in there and ruin it. Make people hate fucking Mogwais and Gremlins.
But do it in the most batshit crazy way you could possibly do it.
So crazy. And then there's a Donald Trump character.
Oh,
that'll be
whole thing.
yeah.
Clamp is his name, but yeah.
All right. So yeah, that's it. And next week, join us for Harmless Phosphorescence when we will be watching Hancock, The Fresh Prince.
Woo!
That'll be interesting. I haven't seen that since it came out.
It's been a while. I thought it was a fun take on superhero.
Yeah, Jason Bateman's in it, I think.
Yeah, I remember it being like 50%, like really fun, and then all of a sudden it goes off the rails. Is my
Charlize Theron, right?
Yes, she's in it.
Yeah. I remember the plot twist, which I won't say until the plot twist, but
until next week. So,
Yeah.
All right. Thank you everybody for listening. This is your host, Thoreau Smiley, reminding you that my whole body is property of the U.S. Army.
I'm Josh CC, and hey, I hate the government as much as anybody.
I'm Brian Lesh, and one day I will have my Gamma doctorate.
I'm Alaric Weber, and my whole body is property of the KISS Army.
Gamma, gamma, hey, gamma, hey.
Thanks, everybody. Bye.
Bye, guys.